The parts that I hardly disagree.
Okay.
Now, so democracy, all that kind of stuff, Australia, we have that.
Discern killing a fetus as a wrong thing to do. It's just, there's nothing. It is perfectly acceptable to do as such.
I can just give you a logically valid argument for why to kill a fetus.
Go for it.
Okay, so premise one, if it's wrong to deprive an organism of a feature like ours, or sorry, if an act deprives an organism of a feature like ours, then that act is wrong. Abortion as an act deprives the fetus as the organism of a future like ours. And so, conclusion, abortion as an act is wrong. That's just basic.
And you come to this conclusion how? What exactly about it makes it a wrong thing to do?
Yeah, so the idea is basically that when you look at sort of those cases of death, the thing that's going to best explain as to why death will be a harmful event is that it deprives the subject of something that it otherwise would have had. Okay? So when you look at, let's for example, like let's say, I don't know if you've ever lost a family member, like maybe a grandma or something. When you look at the loss of that life, the reason as to why we consider those types of events, harmful events or wrong events, is that had those events not occurred, the person would have gone on to live more life, right? They would have gone on to have more experiences, which we find to be good, right? The perpetuation of life is something which we seem to universally agree upon as something which is good, right? The propagation of our species, et cetera, right? Which is why we offer things like survival, evolutionary mechanisms, etc., whatever, right? And so, that's the basic idea that we're pulling from. And then we're just saying that the same thing is happening in the case of abortion, right? Like, had the event of abortion not occurred, the fetus would have gone on to have, these sort of experiences that we find to be good.
Possibly. This is based entirely on the assumption that it could go on to have those experiences. It could also just die immediately after being born.
Yeah, but so there's no reason to think that that's the case, especially when you consider back.
There's no reason not to.
No, there is. There's reason to.
No, there isn't.
There is, and I can just easily tell you what it is. Like when you consider background data of like what most pregnancies look like and what most pregnancies, when they're carried all the way to term, like what happens to the fetus, what happens to the mother, you can actually infer from that data what any given fetus will look like, and you can actually make a reasonable assumption on that. That's exactly what the entire scientific hypothesis actually is based on, is that they pull data from previous, I don't know, like populations, and then you measure an amount of frequency in this population, and then you make a prediction about the future based on an assumption that the future will behave in similar ways that it did in the past. Okay, so we can just make the same exact type of inductive analysis in the case of any given fetus.
Right? So here's an example. Basically, right? The sun has come up like every single time for the last who knows how many years. So we have an indication to believe the sun is going to come up tomorrow.
Hello and a warm welcome on what is a glorious night for football. Perfect playing conditions. I'm Derek Ray, and joining me for commentary is Sue Smith. And if this game lives up to its billing, we're in for a riveting occasion. It's the Hurricanes versus Arsenal.
Well, I can't wait for this one. Both sets of fans are certainly...
Where's the empirical data for us?
That'll give the players a real boost. They'll be hoping to start the game at a fast tempo.
No.
And to look at the starting 11 for the Hurricanes. Iker Casillas begins in goal. Xabi Alonso plays alongside Cesc Fabregas in central midfield. And it's two strikers up front who look to provide the goal-scoring threat.
Just look at Texas. You can see ever since Russian bans went into effect in Texas.
Relation causes and fouls.
And just has to remain calm.
How is that not offside?
No wonder they're celebrating. So underway again here, 1-0 the score. Fabregas.
The effect of banning abortions increased pregnancy-related deaths.
He made good progress there,
This is
but the danger averted for now.
connection.
That's a good
Mariona.
Paper right now.
Prove it.
It will 56%.
Prove it.
Now with Iniesta.
Catch anything that happens in the last guess that just
Mariona. Will it be? And they couldn't add to their advantage.
Oh, that's a big chance missed that. This game very much still in the balance.
You don't have to be rude about
Xabi
it.
Alonso.
She was rude. Juliet is interrupting. That's what's wrong.
Nobody's talking right now. Man,
Are you stupid? Do you hear your mouth?
Successfully cut out.
see, this was supposed to be page me.
Xavi. Now options are plenty.
If you keep repeating that, just thank you. Like, I only get this way when people just interrupt. Like, you're having a chill conversation.
And that's
And then you
two
just
for
can't
today.
piss me off.
They just
I
can't
interrupt,
contain
and
her.
then she's like,
And no
nobody's
wonder
talking.
she's off celebrating. And the defenders know they need to get tighter. Shaping to shoot. Really good diving stop to make sure the threat came to nothing. Corner kick played in.
Anyways, let's just go to this thing. Let's just go this thing. Let's go right.
Mariona.
Of the study, I'm just kind of like make
Claudia
clear
Pina.
why I'm skeptical towards the studies. A lot of people just, they might not understand like why you question these studies. Is not if you actually
Andres
consider
Iniesta.
the Journal of Health Review.
Can she put it away?
The experts from those committees themselves will admit that it's almost next to impossible.
And on to
just
Xavi.
listening to just pure
And look at this.
to actually
And the
predict
keeper
the number of
really
lives that
reacted
are lost
brilliantly.
as a
Well, I
result
thought
of
that had to be a goal, but the keeper pulls off a tremendous save. It's cat-like reflexes.
It's because of the inconsistency in the data collection methods themselves, right? Each and every
Throw
single
in
state.
given.
I'm not sure if you're aware of this, has their own different methods by which they actually compile the
Mariona.
data for maternal deaths.
Yeah, I knew that,
So
yeah.
if you're going to be hyper-fixating on a
And an
specific
opening.
state,
Oh,
it's not
really
just
crisp effort, but just wide.
correlation. Like, when abortion was made legal, illegal, then we also
Fabregas.
noticed this month there's state of
If
affairs.
you're wondering about
These
stoppage
other
time,
events happening
1 minute to be
side by
added on.
side. That's not enough. Are you
A chance then for the
demonstrating
respective managers to
that
address their charges.
the
It is
ban
half-time
somehow
here.
is directly linked to the deaths and then its increase. So I just want to make that clear. But if you want to, cite the source, whatever, then we can just run through it.
Okay, here we go. Here's a paper written by the Dutch EU Press, EU, published by Gene Stevens.
So back in action here, and there was a real gulf in class in the first half. Will we see a response from the Hurricanes in the second?
A total abortion ban in the United States.
Ansu Fati.
This is like, I mean, you can see.
And Xavi comes away with the ball.
Statistically, I believe. Just scanning through it.
And they'll get ready for the throw-in.
You can see that a direct abortion ban leads to
Claudia
Prove it.
Pina.
21% increase in
That's a good pass.
pregnancy-related deaths.
A goal!
What is that?
They're absolutely racing away with this. 3 to the good now.
It's even
Well, on they go again. Arsenal very much in charge. It's turning into a right old thrashing.
Impact. Yes. In United States.
Carmona. On to Carmona.
And you said this is now going from the CDC, right?
And given free rein to run. Xabi Alonso. Magnificent defending. Over it comes. A bit disappointing in the end. Oh, fancy footwork. Oh, top goalkeeping. And a throw-in forthcoming. And players waiting at the far post.
Is continuing to be a nuisance in the chat, not just Peter.
Nicely cut out.
She's not. She's like
Yeah, right place, right time. No messing about there.
Let's see. I'm not seeing
Torres.
your talk. Oh, I see it. New press.
Oh, this looks useful.
That's right. And it's just
Is this the moment?
I hate these
And take it away.
AI verification shit. Yeah, I know.
Iniesta.
Okay. Let's research.
Xavi. Genuine chance. And there is the goal.
No, he's saving the ball.
Excellence in finishing. There for all to see.
I'm reading through it right now, so give me a second.
Mariona. And Torres on the ball.
Okay. The number of, I'm already seeing here, it says the number of estimated deaths following a total abortion ban is determined
He's on
by
the
assuming
run.
these three conditions. One, that all wanted induced abortions are denied.
Well, the cross didn't
Two,
get
that
past the
each
first
abortion
defender.
denied leads to
The corner will
AIDS
ensue.
births. And that there's a
And
corresponding
there it
increase
is,
in
a goal.
exposure to
But will it be
related
purely a
mortality.
consolation at this stage of the proceedings? They haven't been at their best. Claudia Pina. Oh, surely! A goal! And I'll tell you what, on this sort of form, very few would lay a glove on them.
Just scanning through myself.
Ansu Fati.
Chad, is Julia still? Is she happening in the chat?
Crucial intervention just then amid impending danger. And there it is, the full-time whistle here, and it's a victory for the...
Good. Still reading through it. I want to read through, actually see if this study supports what we're saying. Let's see. I'm not really seeing where this is generally a direct, it being a direct result of abortion ban. So can you help me identify where that is? If you scroll further down to the bottom where it says conclusion, I make a direct link there. They can also say the number could be smaller percentage depending on certain factors. Okay, so yeah, this analysis is limited by reliance on abortion rates from 2014 and 17. Impacts could be smaller. The mortality impacts of denying all wanted. So this is all under the assumption, those three assumptions that I read off previously, as well as whether or not pregnancy-related deaths are the result of an increase in all wanted legal induced abortions.
Yes.
How does that prove that it's a direct cause?
I guess the last fact is recommending all abortions people would die. Yes, it does.
This does not take
You find the entire math in the addendum section. It backs it up.
Okay, where's the addendum section?
About halfway through.
Okay. All right, let's see.
You're right. It is just an estimate based on previous data. But that estimate does still support that people would die.
The math addendum is an estimate about a 15-year-old and the likelihood of them dying as a result of a pregnancy-related cause. If pregnancy-related mortality rates continue for her reproductive life. And then it just assumes like certain background data, like for example, mortality rates before age 50. And then that's what they utilize to calculate the probability of,
A warm welcome
first
to
of
you,
all,
and thanks for joining
her
us for another
likelihood
game
of dying
live on
in
EA TV.
relationship to
I'm
the
Guy
ethnic group
Mowbray,
that she
joined for
belongs to,
commentary by Stuart Robson,
as well as the
and
fertility
everything
group
is
that she
set up
belongs to
nicely
as well.
give us a really good match.
And it
What can
also
we expect
estimates
from
the
game?
probability of all wanted abortions being denied, and then it being a product of total fertility rate for ratio. Yeah, this is just talking about estimations, and it's like, how is this proving a direct connection? I still don't see it because it's math.
Here's how the
You said the math. So the last, I just looked in the math section. The math section is talking about a 15-year-old that, and he's trying to estimate how likely this 15-year-old is to die. How does this prove it? The math is not mathing here, my guy.
No, the math does math. This is math that directly links. Yeah, which means people would die.
No, it means this. He is estimating that this 15-year-old might die based on his probabilistic analysis. This doesn't mean that every 15-year-old is going to die if abortion is banned.
Obviously, I'm not talking about every 15-year-old. I'm saying if you banned abortion, yeah, but still, some would die.
Okay, so you're talking about abortion. You're saying that mortality rates are increasing as a result of abortion bans.
Yes.
This study does not show that. This study shows some guy making estimations on specific people that belong to category groups like an ethnic group or a fertility group. At least that's what the math section that you pointed me to is talking about here.
Now, this might be promising.
Well, I mean, yes, that is a theoretical on a nationwide abortion ban.
Yes,
like I said before.
That's my point.
Yeah, but like I said before, you can find plenty of papers on Texas's increase in direct linked deaths.
Well, I'm just saying, like, the paper that you did cite me, the one that I just sort of took the time to read. I'm not gonna have we're gonna like have to pause and go read through another paper again. But like the one that you know,
You're a BS goal.
I mean, it just didn't show that. It just showed.
Sweetie can't even do that. What is a BS goal?
Estimates, right? Like, this is what the experts say. Like, if you go on,
They get one shot, they score.
where you have like these actual people who like they dedicate their lives and it's their career to study these types of like statistical relationships, they will tell you that we don't have enough data, and that of the data that we do have, it's largely inconsistent, right, in terms of like how it's actually being compiled. Like, for example, I'm not sure if you're aware of, do you know what pregnancy checkbox errors? Have you ever heard of that phrase before?
No.
Okay, so for example, one of the methods of collection for the data on maternal mortality, like rates, is through
pregnancy check boxes. And sometimes, and there's been many cases that's been reported this, where they will inaccurately report the number of check boxes that were actually checked off, right? So sometimes they check off too many boxes, or they don't check off enough boxes, and these things are literally just attributable to human error. Okay. Sometimes they have to get this information from obituaries, and at certain times maybe you have somebody who works there and they just don't want to give the information out that night, or maybe they are out of town for 2 weeks or something, and then they make up some number, right? So like all these things are happening on the back end in terms of how the data is actually being collected. So we can't confidently say there's a direct relationship between those two things.
Okay. So what you're saying is that because of human error and the potential that the data is possibly wrong, we cannot directly make a correlation between an abortion ban and pregnancy-related deaths because the data could be poisoned, and every single scientist who's done studies on this could be wrong.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Then what are you saying?
Yeah, so the claim that I'm making here is that at least in short term, maybe potentially in long term, we might have more data, but at least in short term, that it's very difficult for us to track the number of lives that are actually lost in terms of like abortion bans, and whether or not that is a result of limited abortion access or more expansive abortion access. And the reason as why that's the case is because of the inconsistency in the compilation of the data itself. So that is the claim that I'm making right there. I'm not talking about just the possibility that it could be false. I'm saying that, one, we don't have enough data to make any serious predictions, and two, of the data that we do have, it's inconsistent. Those are the two claims I'm making.
Okay, so you're saying research on this subject right now is not relevant, I don't want to say relevant, isn't capable of really holding its weight because it's inconclusive due to a lack of data.
Yes, like for example, look at us. Like for example, for instance, you look at Florida, for example. Florida had multiple reported cases where they did not provide enough data to the committee for like a year. They were actually holding on to data for a year after they were supposed to deliver the data. And then you have other states like Oregon, for example, or, I can't think of one off the top of my head or whatever, where they're many years behind in data. So they're all the way stuck in 2019 in terms of, giving the data to these committees to then report to the public what's actually going on. Right? So that's an example right there, is that the data for some people are holding on to it. Some people just don't have it. Some people give it a year in advance. Like, it's just all over the place. We don't really know what the direct cause is.
Okay, I see what you mean. Alright. So using data isn't an option, then, is what I'm getting.
No, it's in this argument. I'm saying it might be in the future. No. It's too early to make.
Well, they made some good decisions there.
So, then, if it's too early to make any solid stances on abortion based entirely on the evidence means because we lack the evidence to make a sound conclusion, that means abortion and the decision on whether or not it should or should not be legal stands entirely on moralistic grounds.
Gee, it's almost as if that was true. It means that claim can't be so.
There is no real claim that abortion should be outlawed purely moralistically.
Are you like a moral nihilist?
I'm more like
Disappointing result, whichever way you slice it. Your thoughts on that performance?
environment you were raised in and the religious group that you were most commonly around.
That sounds like
So, I mean,
They bounce back now.
yeah, I mean, kind of.
That's immoral.
Yeah, that sounds like conservatism to me, but I mean, yeah, I don't even want to open the can of worms in terms of like the conversation about like anti-realism and realism. So I think, there's other guests that want to kind of see what they have to say, so we'll probably just move on.
True. Okay, I'll bow with that.
Thanks for coming up though. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Alright. So address
recently, so I'm gonna hold off on you for now because we have new guests. Effie, are you at least 18?
Yeah, I'm 18.
Do you disagree with the province?
Yes, I do. Because abortion is not irrational. Because women wouldn't kill, not like kill, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not irrational because like people wouldn't do that. Like,
What?
it's not irrational. That's what I have to say. Irrational.
Okay. So why do you think it's not irrational? Just
Because yeah.
okay. Julia, you gonna be 18?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Do what happens when you don't interrupt. Now it's your turn. You can get as much time to speak as you want. All I'm looking for is just an argument against the background.
Okay, that's fair. I'm just gonna say that personally, pro-choice isn't irrational because a medical decision is never going to be irrational. Especially now with the bans and restrictions on abortions, it takes weeks for people to prove that they are able to get an abortion at this point. So I'm just here to say that I don't think being pro-choice is irrational.
So, what makes you think that just because something is a medical procedure, that somehow automatically licenses it as a moral action?
I mean, everyone has different morals, and I'm not here to say that your morals are wrong or my morals are wrong or which one is right. I'm just here to say that a medical decision is something you can't be. I don't believe I should ever be a part of someone else's medical decision. I don't see why you necessarily need to be a part of someone's medical decision unless you're a doctor or someone's like advising for that. Like, that's why I feel like just arguing about other stuff and morality of it is not necessarily fair, and that's why like the whole point of pro-choice is.
People who advocate against FGM are just speaking a bunch of gibberish.
I don't know, like, personally, I feel like a lot of times, I don't like want to assume your religion or like political party or whatever, but I feel like they are arguing with Christian. This one I see most of the time. Like,
What is their beliefs? I'm just asking you, are they speaking gibberish or not?
who are we talking about? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
People who are against FGM. Because they're advocating for something that, like female circumcision on babies.
What are you talking about? I've never heard that.
You don't know what circumcision is?
I know what a circumcision is, but what does this have anything to do with abortion?
Circumcising babies. If somebody were to advocate against that, are they speaking gibberish?
No, because it's a choice. People have the choice to circumcise their children.
I didn't ask you about the choice to circumcise your child. I said, if you were to speak out against it, should you be doing that? Or are you just speaking gibberish?
I mean, I don't see why you would speak out against that. I mean, you can have your own opinion if you.
I don't see why you'd speak out against circumcising little babies.
I don't know why this has anything to do with the topic of abortion.
Well, just the sort of weather the fans were hoping for this evening. It's absolutely ideal. I'm Derek Ray in the commentary position, and I'm joined for expert analysis by C. Smith. And with the atmosphere really building up nicely,
Yeah, it
we
is.
should be in for a
Get you
terrific
caught up here in a
contest.
second because you're not
Sue,
tracking.
what are your expectations
So pretty
for
much what's
today?
happening is you made the claim that you don't think you should ever get to speak on other people's medical decisions. Okay? FGM is one of those things. And so what I'm doing is giving you a counter example to test the belief that you claim to have about never telling anybody what to do about their medical circumstances. Now, if the next thing that you're going to say is, oh, I just meant only about abortion, then I'm just going to say that you're special pleading, right? But if your logic is something which can be applicable to the FGM case, then it would track that you would actually be doing something wrong, according to your logic, by speaking out against FGM, because it has nothing to do with your body, according to your logic.
Well, I think, like, I personally would say I don't agree with your, like, we're talking about female circumcision specifically, correct?
Uh-huh.
I I would say I don't personally
Should've
agree
passed.
with that, but I know a lot of that
Wait, is it your body?
Yeah, no.
So
But
why are
I'm
you
saying-
speaking against? Why are you speaking on things that it's not your body?
Can I please finish my sentence real quick?
I'm just saying you're already showing inconsistency, which is a feature of irrationality.
I mean, I guess, yeah, we can say that, but I'm saying just because I agree with it doesn't mean that it's not in a religious standpoint or why it's happening.
You're talking about religion, right? Are you religious?
I personally don't consider myself religious anymore. I grew up Christian.
Why do you keep bringing up religion?
I'm just saying because when it comes to why people think you need to have or why abortions are wrong or why female circumcision is correct is usually from a religious standpoint. I'm saying I don't have that religion, so I would not choose to do that or think, hey, I wouldn't do that personally, but I'm not going to say someone else can't do that.
Okay, cool.
That's just what I'm saying with that.
Okay, thanks for telling us. So you agree that you're being inconsistent, right? When you say that, you should
Am
never
I being
be able...
inconsistent?
Yeah, so when you say that you should never be able to speak on somebody else's medical decision, and then you're actively speaking on somebody else's medical decision, that is inconsistent.
I'm not saying they can't do it, though. I can
But
have
that just
an
makes you
opinion,
absurd.
and you can have an
Well,
opinion.
that just makes you
which
absurd.
doesn't-
Advocate against it.
I would not tell someone they can't do that. I can
Make it
morally...
illegal?
What?
Would you make it illegal?
I do not know enough about that, so I'm not going to put my
What
opinion
else?
on that.
What else do you need to know? Do you know what circumcision is?
I do, but this isn't the point
Do you know
of
what a
our...
baby is? Do you know what a baby is?
Yes, I know what a baby
Okay.
is.
So those two things right there is all you need to know. Circumcising baby, should it be legal or illegal?
Okay, then if that's all I need to know, a woman having a choice, should that be illegal or
I
not
don't know
illegal?
why you're dodging my question. Circumcision, should it be legal or illegal?
I would say it should be legal. It's a choice.
Illegal.
It doesn't matter. I'm not...
But you think people should be legally allowed to circumcise their children? Okay, gotcha. Okay. What about I don't know, for example, things like child marriage? Do you think something like that should be legal? Is that a choice?
I don't understand why this has to do anything with your argument.
Yeah, I tried to explain it to you the first time. You didn't get
Yes,
it.
I understood that, but I'm just saying, if we're going to talk about abortions and why you think they're irrational,
You think child marriage should be legal? Yes or no?
obviously not, dumbass. I
Wait,
think
why shouldn't it be legal, dumbass?
because pedophilia is illegal.
Wait a minute.
No, I didn't ask
What
you
does
if
this
it
have
is.
to do
It
with...
actually is not illegal.
I didn't ask you if it is illegal. I said, why shouldn't it be legal?
Because it's morally wrong to do that.
Why is it morally wrong to do that, dumbass?
Because someone under the age of 18 shouldn't marry a child.
You're just telling us what, the action is. You're not telling us why it's wrong.
How is that not wrong? An 18-year-old shouldn't marry someone
Don't
that's...
shift. Don't pivot. Can you explain why pedophilia is wrong without just saying what the act is?
Being attracted to children is weird.
Okay, it's weird. Is it wrong?
Yes,
I agree with you. Why is it wrong?
because it's... Are you attracted to children? Why are you so obsessed with this?
This is like what people do when they don't have an argument, is that they begin to say these silly things.
Because I came on here to talk about abortions. That's what I've been talking about this whole time.
And now you're
I don't want to play these silly games of, I'm
It's not a
gonna
game.
trip
It's actually
your
just
word.
this is what happens when you actually test your logic. You've never done this before, which is why you're intimidated right now, and you're scared of this part of the conversation. You're feeling away from this conversation because you've never been in a position where your logic has been directly tested. You don't know what a hypothetical is. You've never been asked questions like this to then test your thinking. So you're like, oh, let's not have this conversation because it has nothing to do with abortion. Oh, wait, it actually does. You're just not smart enough to
How does pedophilia have anything to do with abortion? Please link those two.
So this is exactly.
Please link those two.
Yeah, you're proving my point even more, is that this conversation actually has nothing to do with pedophilia. The point is about the logic that you have when you apply it to the case of abortion. And your logic apparently says that if somebody is doing a medical action...
She also says something is a choice.
...making their choice, that you shouldn't be able to tell them what to do as long as they have a choice to make with their body. Okay, so you've already agreed, apparently, that female circumcision of little girls should be legal. Okay? And despite the fact that you think it's immoral, you think that
Showing
it
a
should
great
be
defensive
legal?
instinct.
Okay. So what else do you think should be legal? Even though you think it's immoral. Okay, child marriage. You think
And
child
so it'll
marriage
be
is
a goal
immoral.
kick.
When do you think it should be legal?
Oh, this looks useful.
It's to trip people up and be like, oh, so you think
Yes.
Well, he was influential in the first half, it's fair to say. Oyarzabal. What did you make of what you saw from him?
You're doing
Well,
this to
certainly a good 45 minutes. Obviously got the goal.
Well, he opted for power, but off the frame of the goal.
You're right, and he's got to finish that for me. Certainly from that range, you just got to pass it into the
And I
net.
am saying there's certain things where, yes, I think we should
Danny
have
Olmo.
being a minimum.
And they need to get tighter here. But they took care of the situation defensively.
Yes, and I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying I agree that there are certain
Fati.
things that we should force people. We should have control over some.
Oh, genuine
This was
chance.
never my argument when it came to the abortion thing.
No, that was your logic. Okay,
Might
so
do
your
damage on the break.
Was
That's a
your
good
logic
ball.
was, let me help you understand, okay?
Can they make it count? Oyarzabal! It's gone in! Well, they're really in the mode here. Can they be stopped?
I'm just confused once again. Okay, so you're
What
just
do you mean that's not my logic?
Confident attacking play. Well, nothing much for the keeper to worry about
I came in
there.
here to say because that's what
Oyarzabal.
Yeah, you're so right. I'm rage baiting at 12:22 a.m. on a
Well,
Monday
this could
night.
really help the
Yes,
cause.
You're so correct.
Yeah, that's different. We upgrade on this here.
Oh, surely! And that's the
Yeah,
hat-trick!
we can tell you
Tearing apart this
and the funny
defence
part is
time
that
and
you
again.
are now
They
part
simply
of the
can't
circus.
handle
The
it.
circus is
Just looking
away from
rather
that,
comfortable for them.
yeah, you just don't understand
3-0.
what's going on here, right? So the point that's being made here is very, very easy to understand. Julia is somebody who
Carmona.
believes that if somebody has a choice to make concerning their body,
Fati.
that they should be able to do it. And I, as a third party, should not intervene in them making that
And a
choice.
decent
Okay?
delivery.
Now you think amongst these choices, abortion is one of them. Okay? You also think
Well, it
apparently
comes to nothing
female
in the end.
circumcision of little
And
girls
playing
is
it
another.
through. In
When you
position.
cut the line at child
And
marriage,
it wasn't all
let's
that
know it's
far away from
marriage is
being a
not
goal.
part of
Well,
that
he
set.
just needed to show a
Just
bit more
telling us
composure
what's
there, take a
happening
little bit off the
when
shot.
child marriage is occurring. Oh, there's a
An
minor
alert intervention.
engaging in
Yeah, anticipated well there. He's
behavior
onto that
with
in
an
a
adult.
flash.
Right? Okay, that's
I
just
never said that. When did I say, like,
And saved by the keeper.
I'm here to talk about abortions, and that's my opinion on abortions.
yes.
Delivering it.
Yes, because I can have different opinions about different medical procedures. I think this
Like, do you know how to connect points in your head?
And
Like,
so
are
the
you able
referee
to
blows for
abstract?
full time, and
Yes, I'm
it goes
able to
down
abstract,
as a
and I
victory
understand
for
what
the
you're saying.
visitors.
I understand
Well,
that
it was a
you're
very
using
assured performance, wasn't it?
examples
Particularly
where
impressed with
I
their
think
play
a
going
choice
forward.
where
They
I'm
were
being
really
against
live.
another certain thing, like
So the
a
first-
circumcision, child marriage. And you want me to prove that my point's wrong. And you are. I agree that those things shouldn't happen. That doesn't mean I don't agree that abortions shouldn't happen. I'm allowed to have multiple opinions
Why is abortion not one of those things that we should restrict people from doing that way? In the same way that you would restrict them from rapists from using their body to rape somebody else because rape is wrong. Why shouldn't we restrict women from getting abortion because abortion is wrong? We would have to prove that abortion is right. So can you actually prove that without just saying it? And also, if shut the fuck up. Okay, so in order for what you're saying to be true, you would have to demonstrate that abortion is not bad, that it's actually good, such that she should make that choice. So, what's the argument that you have?
I'm personally going to stop using bad and good because nothing about abortion is ever good, except it's a medical procedure that someone has to deal with for an unimaginable circumstance. I know for a fact you've never had an abortion.
Can you give the argument?
I've never had an abortion.
Can you give the argument?
And avoid that part of the conversation about whether it's good or bad.
I'm not going to say an abortion is outright good because it negatively affects the woman it's happening to. Obviously, it's not going to be some.
I think it's good enough.
I don't think it's good enough because
Why? What's the
it's it's a medical procedure. Not everyone has the means.
Oh, there you go. Back to the medical.
Is FGM a medical procedure?
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
Is
abortion.
it a medical procedure?
What do you want me to say? It's a medical procedure? Yes.
Is it
Like, you can't just stick to one fact because you know.
Is it wrong? That medical procedure, which is FGM.
Dang it, it disappeared.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about an abortion. Stay on one topic, bud.
Is it wrong?
Having to bring multiple things into a conversation, a debate, does not show you that you can.
Soldier, what's your age?
She proved being irrational.
I am 45. Alright. I think you were pro-life, right? Correct. Okay. What's going on? I just wanted to present the challenge to the other speakers. Maybe a starting point, if you will. Oh, like you wanted to, you know what? You know what? This is let me see this right. I'm gonna see. So if a very specific person who just came in actually, if they type yes, I'll let you have a full-on debate with Aiden. How does that sound?
Oh, okay. I was just going to present a position for people to think about, but yeah, I can do that too.
Okay. Yeah, so the person who just came in and is acting confused, you pretty much get to decide if he gets to debate or not.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, personally, I would say yes. I'm advocating for my boy Soldier. You know, he's an S tier debater. He's been doing this for a while, so. Where you at? I'd be scared, to be honest. I'm scared. Waiting on you. Waiting on you. All you gotta do is just say those 3 letters. Present the comments. Okay, cool. Soldier and Aiden, you guys have 15 minutes. Floor's yours.
Okay, cool. So to start off, I would just like to say the concept of the sanctity of human life is a foundational idea for Western civilization as a whole. It's taken and assumed in legal, medical, and even social circles. So, yeah, to start off with, that's my opening gambit. Not gambit, what's the strong missile, second half of it. You missed the second half.
Yeah, that's my phone. It's connectivity issues.
Oh, okay. So basically, I'm saying that the sanctity of life is a foundational concept for Western civilization as a whole. It is taken as assumed in both medical and legal circles.
Okay. So we have an understanding of where life is formed. And we can have different understandings of where we believe life is actually fundamentally created and also brought into absorption, right? And I would kind of ask you, as the question, do you believe that life is actually created when it does not come to the actual sense of fornication?
Yeah, no, fornication isn't the point. At this point, what's the field? Embryology has basically, its scientific consensus at this point that the human being begins at the point of conception. So at the point of conception, a separate living human being comes into existence.
Agreed.
So therefore, shouldn't the sanctity of human life apply?
So I think
sanctity of the mother also applies in that scenario. So I believe that I would give more moral sanctity to the mother than the child in most scenarios pre-birth. And so probably up to 6 months, I would still give moral sanctity to the mother. Okay, but what do you mean by moral sanctity? So not only moral sanctity, but just moral objectivity to the mother. So the mother should have complete objective control over that child up until, for me, about 6 months, in my opinion. So any choice that the mother makes and any choice that the child cannot make should be made by the mother up to that point, in my opinion. Including the choice to end his life. Of course. Mainly the choice to end their life. That violates the sanctity of life. Yes, of course. The mother might be, they might have, health issues which might be caused by the birth
A
of the
warm
child,
welcome to you and thanks for joining us for another game live on EA TV. My name's Guy Mowbray. I'm joined by Sue Smith in the commentary position, and everything is set up nicely to give us a really good match. What are we going to get from this one, Sue?
It's great to be here. I think it's going to be a really good game today. Both teams will be well up for it, so hopefully we're in for a treat.
That was well spotted. The attack is over.
Yeah, the positioning was spot on. Brilliant awareness.
This is the home side's team today.
Yeah, they've gone for 4 at the back, 2 midfielders protecting the back line, and then 4
And
forward.
here's a chance. The assistant's flag is raised. That'll be offside.
in this scenario. How much if you can is
Great instinct there to cut it out. Going up through the gears now. For the lead now. Oh, how did she get there? Without a play, corner given. And it's a short corner. They decide against putting it into the box. That's a good ball. Big chance. It's in. Deadlock broken. And just how crucial could that prove to be? Mariona. Now there could be a real chance developing. Gonzalez. Oh, real opportunity. Oh, incredible. That's top quality goalkeeping. They opt to go short with the corner. Goes on past the defender. He read that well, stopping any danger. Over the line, throw in. The ball lost and gratefully
Happens
received.
won a game in like 3 games.
Torres, and it must be. And somehow he's been denied. Superb work. And it's a short one. We'll take things forward a notch here. Now to play for another corner. It's put into the middle. Oh, rich. Oh, it must be here. Winning the ball back and in a promising position.
Well, listen to that roar when they win the ball back. The fans are responding to the positive play. They just need to finish one of these chances now.
That's a good ball.
Ansu Fati. And the Hurricanes have given the ball away. Mariona. And that whistle brings the first half to a close. Off we go again. The second half begins.
So basically, that's everybody, basically. But basically, all of them.
Now, this might be promising.
Oh, come on. That should have gone in.
So unlucky not to be level in this one. It was a great effort, but you just wonder if they're going to look back on that, though.
Might they be left to rue that one not going in? And it's been cut out. There's the turnover. Mariona. Alexia Putellas. Gonzalez. Oh, should score! Salgado cuts it out.
Yeah, anticipated well there. He was onto that in a flash.
And there's the whistle as the ref gives a free kick. Excellent reading of the game to win the ball. Spreads it through. And there's another one. Valuable breathing space for them now. Porto. Ball taken away from them.
No. No.
Promising position, this. Gonzalez.
No. I think it's idiotic, but not
No
more.
way through. Possession lost.
Yeah, nice build-up. They just lack that end product. Stop
I
that
think it's
when
idiotic, but like it's idiotic to leave your doors open at night, but it's not immoral to leave your doors open. It's just a very stupid decision.
Moving through on goal. If there were any doubts, there surely aren't any now. A truly dominant display.
He just told you the answer. He didn't say it's wrong. He said it's just a stupid decision.
Oh, could be here. This could be. And what can they do from the corner?
Just like it's not wrong to use your credit card when you can't pay it back, but it's not. But it's a bad decision.
Oh, that's been won really smartly. Good pass, good chance. And another goal. Surely they're home and dry with the win now. And that is the final blast. Not the result that the visit.
That should have been a goal. That should have been a goal. That should have been a goal. It's an